What's the deal, YouTube? We're back with the weekly's Big Gamer Small Talk podcast. We got a lot to talk about this evening. MPDs, tearaways, No Man's Skies. So what you want to guys want to tackle first?
Let's
No Man's Sky.
I mean that's funny in and of itself, but let's talk about NPD, right? Just because I think NPD is important because nobody thought Xbox would win an NPD before November or December. Which even me, I thought, hey, they'll probably win big. I mean, hell, if you're going to win by 1 million over those 2 months like they did last year, you know what I mean? Fuck this little 10, 15,000 win streak. But anyway, leading into E3, this was huge in my opinion because this is going to be, there'll be one more NPD, but, E3 will be basically already started. And you would probably think that Microsoft would take that one as well, the 2 leading into E3, and then you have a killer E3 lineup from them, and then 6 weeks later Gamescom, where you have absolutely no competition because Sony's not even going. And I think that the pressure is actually on Sony now, so much so that you have, I was seeing on M4G, they're starting to allow these rumor threads from quote-unquote insiders from NeoGAF again, just to help quell the Xbox hype, and that's basically what's going on. They're like, man, did you hear? The Last Guardian's going to be showed at E3 this year. Oh my gosh, you know what I mean? So you have people trying to diffuse what's going on with Xbox and them winning. They're deflecting, trying to do whatever they can to make it seem like the PS4 is still relevant, which at the end of the day, I don't turn mine on for weeks. Only turn it on to get an update or whatever, you know what I mean? So the PS4 is about as relevant as Ricky Martin at this point.
You turn it on for those updates? Wow. You a bold bruh.
Yeah.
That's serious risk right there, bro. Getting those updates.
That shit's under, it's under warranty, so I'm good. People trying to diffuse what's going on.
Oh, yeah, man.
I can hear myself playing back through somebody's headset. Awesome.
That's fine.
That sounds good. Yeah, what up?
Okay. Go ahead.
What do you guys think about that? I mean, that the NPD, were you guys expecting Microsoft to pull out an NPD win before November, December?
I'm going to say this. No.
I'm sorry.
I wasn't expecting them to pull out a win at all because, PlayStation has so much steam going with their little games and everything that they had out, and how the media kind of just constantly been pumping and blowing them up with a whole lot of just hoopla. So I wasn't expecting until after E3 for them to win anything. But it's just amazing that they snuck it out with the price drop and everything. So it was pretty cool.
Hey, the funny thing is, though, is just real quick, I know Next Gen you wanted to pipe in. Sony actually has been, I know a lot of people want to talk about the $349 Xbox price, but you've been able to get a PS4 for under $400 bundled with all kinds of shit this whole year.
Yep.
So people that are like, oh, well, Xbox needs price drops and all this, hey, you could get Vita TVs, a year of PSN Plus, 3 games. I mean, they were giving away Bloodborne, The Order, and something else, and The Last of Us, right? And so don't sit there and talk to me about price drops and all this kind of stuff.
I mean, but if you think about it, they shouldn't have never raised the price in the first place. You know what I'm saying? They should have kept it what it was from the holiday seasons going on.
Yeah, I mean, now look, hey, yeah, exactly.
They would have won. They would have won January if they did, because January came very close to winning.
Yeah. They waited. What did they wait? Like 2 weeks before they lowered it back. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was stupid. Like, to me, that's indecision. Like, you got to blame that. And look, a lot of people are like, "Hey, we're Xbox Damage Control podcast." I think we're one of the realest ones because we're saying, "Hey, that was a fuck up on their part."
Yeah. You were saying that. I remember you saying that.
Yeah, we all said that. We said that's the stupidest damn thing you could do.
I want to say this here. Even going back to, say, NPD, and this goes back to what we've been saying on this show for the last 6 months or so, that, they were saying, oh, Xbox doesn't have it. They shot their load last holiday season. We were like, what Sony had coming out. They had MLB The Show, big game for them. They had The Order, whether you like it or not. It was one of their AAA exclusives. And Bloodborne. And for Bloodborne, for them to also, like I said, not only lose April with 3 big exclusives, lose April, and for none of the exclusives to be in the top 10. You mean to tell me, you guys, that's what I tell you about these numbers, so they're funny with these numbers. You sold 22 million units, 22 million consoles, and you don't have not one of your AAA exclusives in the top 10. Not one.
Where'd Bloodborne go, guys? Best generation exclusive, right?
I'll tell you what, Bloodborne's on. It's all over GameStop. It's all over.
I know. I saw like 25
That's
copies.
where it is.
Yeah, but no, listen. All jokes aside, but I know we get called everything a child of God when when you go against what's the masses with the popular people, what's going on within the internet. I told you guys before, ain't no way in hell Sony sold 22 million goddamn units. They're not 22 million PS4 sitting something. Could they have shipped 22 million? Yes, and to be fair, that's considered a sell. You know what I mean? Once it leaves their warehouse, they're not giving them to these people on consignment. They buy them, so they can give a fuck less of who Tom, Dick, and Harry goes in and buy another one. And like I said, these stores are not going to be asking for all this stock if they had problems moving it. Like I said before, I was still able to find Destiny bundles. I saw the Destiny bundles at Best Buy last month. You understand what I'm saying? That's what Sony does right before their numbers ship. They flood the channel, the flood channel, what it was stop and say, hey, and say that the numbers are up. But if you think about this, if they got quote unquote 22 million in sales, and Bloodborne quote unquote couldn't make the top 10, come on now. Like this console race is much closer than you guys think. I'm telling you, this shit, like I said, this shit right here is gonna be sinking for Microsoft. And I think they still in it to win it. You know what I mean?
It's a battle. Like this is the part where in Rocky 4 where Rocky fucking cuts to Russian and it's on because that's basically what it fucking comes down to.
I was thinking that same thing.
Exactly, dude. Like, look, people are like, hey. Sony's the machine, blah blah blah. Then fucking you get Rocky out there, fucking you got that Italian stallion busting heads, and that's what they did. Busted that Japanese head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's the truth though. Listen, I know we got some Sony guys listening to hear what we're saying. Just think about this, right? When did Bloodborne come out and when?
March
20 at the end of March.
March 21st.
It did chart last.
It did chart, but it charted when there was like literally nothing else out. I mean, Minecraft and Call of Duty were still charting as well. And
okay, so again, to have 22 million units in sales, quote unquote, you mean to tell me, that game? Look at Madden. Sometimes still comes in the top 10. It came out in August. That's telling you right now that Sony's being real funny with those numbers. I'm telling you right now. This console, especially here in North America, this console race is closer than you guys think. I'm telling you. You know what I mean? Microsoft can still pull this damn thing out and win it. You know what I mean? And like I said, to win April with no exclusives, Screen Ride? Who would have thought Screen Ride would have pushed motherfucking Xbox One to the one console in the month of April? God damn, Phil, you a bad motor scooter, boy. You a bad motor scooter. Damn.
It was also
Screen Ride.
It was also up 63% year over year, which is really good. And
that's huge.
And next month it's going to be the same type of percentage. So that's good from from looking at Xbox as a whole. It definitely seems to have recovered. It's went through a fucking ton of shit up to this point, and now it's go time. I really think that they're in a position where they got Sony's back up against the wall. They're fucking fluttering. They don't know what the hell. Nobody knows what's going to be in E3.
Well, I think E3, Tim, you nailed it. I think E3 for Microsoft is going to be just coming out, and they've got this is not them just bullshitting. They've got a lineup of games right now where they're just going to be spitting games out left and right for us to watch. I'm actually going to be more enthralled to watch the Sony show at night. I think it's 8 or 9 o'clock at night because I'm going to watch them make some shit up. I mean, they've got to make some shit up. You're going to watch like Japanese people sweating. I mean, they're going to be sweating. Maybe that's why they wear those suits that don't fit. I mean, I can't wait to see these guys be like, and now, who's coming out? You know what I mean? Like, bring somebody.
Please understand. We have for you many Last Guardian Top Guy trailer released sometime in the future.
I'm telling
very
you,
good.
you're gonna see Sony put up pictures on the wall of like Last Guardian or God of War 4 with a big, like a huge picture up there. There's gonna be standing ovation, people lighting matches in the audience, and like going crazy. But ain't nothing happening. They're not gonna show you any gameplay. I mean, look at it this way, guys. We've been looking at Uncharted 4 now for what? Since
2013, they showed it at the release party.
If they don't have shit to show on that right now, we're not going to see shit on God of War 4.
That's a lot of pressure to put on No Man's Sky.
Oh,
we don't really quite. We just know it's a lot of. We know it's an outer space, Sky 5 type of game, but it's like you don't know much about it because they didn't show no animals. They didn't show anything but just planets and somebody zooming through it.
Listen,
Hey,
That's it.
this is what I'll tell you about No Man's Sky.
Everybody's like, "Oh, it looks great."
Yeah, originally I was kind of excited. I was like, hey, this might be an indie I'll get because I like the idea of the exploration and the planets and stuff. But then when you realize that there might be no end game or story or anything, it's literally just flying around to random generated planets. You're like, okay, I mean that's going to get old kind of fast. You know, you got to have some kind of story or something. You know what I mean? And it's
Is
like
this a retail title?
no,
it's an indie.
It's an indie title.
Wait. Were they treating it a Max Curse of the Brotherhood type game as a AAA first party title?
That's what they said that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
And
went
it's
on-
not even an exclusive. It's on PC, and it's going to end up coming to Xbox as well eventually.
It's coming to Xbox too, yeah.
And they actually publicly went out to say that they're actually treating this as a first-party exclusive.
Hey, this is what he says, right? The week after Microsoft is like, hey, not Gears, but Halo 5, Forza 6, Rise of the Tomb Raider is just the start of our games for 2015. Those 3 big titles, AAA games all the way, when they come out and say that, this is just the start, and then Sony counters with, Tearaway Unfolded and No Man's Sky is just the start. And you're thinking, man, if you're a gamer, I don't care what kind of gamer you are. Yeah, I don't care what kind of gamer you are. Those are not the games you want as a PS4 owner. If you aren't sitting there saying, "Give me a fucking God of War, give me an Uncharted, give me a," you don't even get your Ratchet and Clank this year. They got that shit pushed back. Hey, let me ask you guys this question: the PS4 is touted as this highly accessible thing for developers, right? Easy to develop for, super powerful, yet PS4 exclusives have been pushed back like no fucking other, right? Let's take Ratchet and Clank, pushed back. Bloodborne, pushed back. The Order, pushed back. Drive Club, pushed back. I mean, how many fucking
PlanetSide 2.
Uncharted 4, PlanetSide, all these fucking games pushed back, and Xbox One has had, what, Quantum Break? That's it?
Yeah,
Which
and they did it on purpose.
Yeah, which could have been possibly because there's too many games they don't want to release it and have the same thing happen that happened to Sunset Overdrive, which is smart. Release it at the beginning of the year when people because people complained a little bit this year, and rightly so. You know, where was the triple games in the first few months?
I think two things come to mind when I think of Quantum Break. I think Showstopper about 4 or 5 episodes back nailed it when he said if they released it in October, it would get swallowed up, and I agree with Show. The other thing I think that happened was I think Microsoft took a long, steady look at sales of what's going on with different IPs and the way sales were going between January and May. Where back in the day, that was a very slow time period, but with seeing Dying Light, don't get me wrong, I got 52 hours into Dying Light. Great game, but let's just be honest, it's just Dead Island, you know what I mean? And like, it wasn't anything that was like, I wasn't like, yo, Show, you gotta go get this game. You know, crap, you're missing out. This game's amazing. It's a fun game. I had a good time, but it is what it is. So what Microsoft's saying and thinking now is, wait, if Dying Light, which is just really Dead Island with a different tag on it, is making this kind of money in the US and the UK, where the numbers were through the roof on that game, we're gonna kick ass and take names on Quantum Break. Quantum Break, hypothetically speaking, if people are really jonesing for a new IP, something to really sink their teeth into something new, I think Quantum Break could almost go head to head with Uncharted 4, because Uncharted 4 is, listen, there's going to be people that buy it. It is what it is. That number is going to be just fantastic. We all know it's going to do well. It's going to rest on its laurels. But Quantum Break has got Remedy, which is like, it's like if you were going to a movie and somebody said, I don't even know what this movie's about. And they're like, well, Spielberg's doing it. Well, right there you got a good shot of liking it, right? He's a reputable director. What I'm saying is Remedy's
except for that AI movie, that was terrible.
Yeah. But you got Remedy doing the developing, you've got Microsoft doing the publishing and putting the money up for it, which is just amazing. So you put those two things together, you're like, this can't be a bad ride. You know what I mean? So I think next spring, between Quantum Break and I think we'll see either Crackdown or Scalebound next spring, Microsoft may just be, I think from E3, the day E3, they're going to give us something to play that night. I don't know what it could be. It could be Fable Legends, whatever. But from
Gears. It's going to be the Gears.
Gears. we could be in the full-fledged lineup of Microsoft games from June 16th till like April 2016. I think you're going to see like a complete, like a slaughter. That's my take on it.
I'm going to say this with the new IP, Quantum Break competing with Uncharted. I don't think they can compete right now because it's new. You know, and that's just me. It has not built a fan base. It has not built, you know, it got us hyped about it because it's a new IP, and things like that. But until we actually play the game and see how great it is, I wouldn't compare it to Uncharted right now. I just because that game is just a little established right now.
I may have misspoke with my words, but what I kind of meant, though, no, show's right. But let's just use what Showstopper said. Let me refrain and go back. If this game is all that, just hear me out, Show, and it's amazing, and you got a couple of your friends that were like, I'm going to wait, I'm not really into Quantum Break, and you're like, no, dude, I'm telling you, this shit's the next coming to Christ. Like, they will go. It has the ability not to trump Uncharted, but give a game in the competitive, you know, I'm talking about sales competition for that time zone. I think eventually, if you look at a month or two after both games are released, if it's around the same time, Quantum Break, if it's that good, will build momentum as time goes. That's how new IPs would work, right? If you know, like you said, Uncharted's going to get their sales all in 24 hours. Everyone's just going to buy that shit.
Yeah, because it just it's more popular. It's a popular franchise.
And Ramon, I'm going to say this, though.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think they're far off because just given, you know, Remedy's track record.
That's what I'm resting on.
They make. So, you know, like, we go off like this. I know Remedy's making this such and such game. I don't even have to see the trailer because I know the type of games they make. That was fantastic. Max Payne 1 and 2, fantastic. You know what I mean? So I can't wait to. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would rather play Quantum Break than I would.
At this point, me too.
You know what I mean? I'm just being real. Like I've played, you know, from that demo that I've seen from Uncharted, it's the same thing. Over the top shootouts, punch somebody in the face, jump over here. It's the same thing. But with this here, it looks like something new, something fresh. And
they incorporated a lot of the Tomb Raider stuff from the newest Tomb Raider into that.
That's what I was just gonna say that I would rather see Uncharted go up against Tomb Raider than it to go up against something new.
I don't even think that's gonna be cool.
I think Laura would have smacked him in the head though. Real talk.
Well, back to what I was saying though about E3. You know, Sony's looking. You got to look at it this way. Sony right now, the pressure's on. What are they have for 2015? Right now, Xbox has 3 huge exclusives. One being probably the biggest exclusive ever. So even if they do drop a Last Guardian, you know, they still it's 3 versus 1. You know what I mean? So
hey, let me ask you guys something real quick. How foolish would Sony fanboys be to believe Sony that The Last Guardian would even come? I mean, unless you get them up there on stage, have a disc, put it in a fucking PS4, play it, have a release date on the bottom of the screen. I mean, would you believe it? Because I mean, this shit's been in the tank.
Well, let me ask you guys a question.
I want to ask a question with a question. Exactly. I want to say, don't you think that Sony at this point internally is so desperate that why wouldn't they put something on stage that won't come out? What do they care?
Well, they got
to right? Think about it, right?
Well, they got to do something, and you're right.
I refuse to believe that there's people that stupid to believe that shit anymore, though, right? Like, people have got to be catching on. I know that a lot of them put on a good front, but then behind the closed doors, they're probably like, oh, shit, man, yeah, Sony's kind of dropping the ball at these games, and that could be part of the reason why Microsoft and the Xbox One won the April MPD, because you know, they're like, what's coming up for the rest of the year? So let's just say Microsoft all of a sudden wins every fucking month this year. I mean, that's a possibility.
That's possible right now. It will drop back and forth. It'll go back. It'll be close, though. The bottom line is that if they don't have anything to compete with Halo 5, Tomb Raider, and Forza 6, they are going to get their fucking lunch served to them.
I think Microsoft is going to win the holidays by closer to $2 million this year.
They're going to have to drop the price. That's my opinion. Is that they're in no position, because I could speak about North America. I don't know how it is. People in North America are going to be like, "Fuck this! What the fuck is this thing doing here? You're going to pretend Persona, which won't even fucking possibly make 2015, is going to match this." You're going to
go fine.
Hey, you know what? Somebody on my timeline, right? I don't remember them by name, but they got some weird Japanimation icon was talking about, all I need is Persona 5 and like this weirdo shit that I never heard of, right? It was like all Japanese stuff. I'm like, well, good for you. But the average gamer that buys a PS4, what do they buy a PS4 for? They buy it for Ratchet and Clank, Uncharted, God of War, Gran Turismo. They buy it for these games, okay? Good for you. You think Godzilla is the greatest thing. It's not. That thing looks like a PS2 game. You know what I'm saying? Even the
Hey, did they scrap Rambo?
Yeah, thanks to that.
Rambo came out.
Did it?
Yeah, it came out on 360.
You ain't heard nothing about that trash game, bro. That Rambo game was trash.
It's a rail shooter. That's why.
I thought it was going to be a PS4 exclusive.
No, man, it's a rail shooter. It came out on 360 PS3.
Oh, I thought it was coming out for the PS4 also. Like, you know what? No, here's the thing. I think Sony, what they're doing, I don't know. Maybe I think they are judging their market. Like, what's that game they announced last week? Ryzen 3. That game was dog shit.
Yeah, I got a 3 or something.
Yeah, that game was horrible. Like, if I was
did you see the trailer they put out for Godzilla?
Yeah, that's what like that's like a C. It's not even a double A or
right.
Like a C game. Like shit like that. Like yo, that shit is horrible. Who the fuck wants that?
It's a joke.
It is.
It's
like,
a
that really is a slap in the face of their consumers, man. Putting out shit like that.
And you know, you got leaks all over the place about Xbox Battletoads, Montana, rare new IP. What the fuck? You have nothing with Sony. You hear nothing. You hear fucking bullshit.
No.
You know,
you want to talk about remakes? Look at what we made. Let's just talk about maybe, okay? Let's talk maybe, not absolutes. We might be getting the best. If that Gears clip is what I saw, if that's what we're getting, I got news for everybody listening. That's what you're going to see when you see me online for a very long time. That shit looked beautiful.
Yeah, it did.
That shit looked gorgeous. I'm not even playing with you.
It's going to be a lock for me for a while, too, bro. I'm dead serious.
Yo, that shit was
I'm excited about that Gears.
Yeah.
Hey, but listen. What's your name,
No, Tim Dog was talking.
No, I just to say.
Tim.
It's Xbox time. I have no doubt in my mind that from now E3 we're gonna win, and we're gonna roll. And I actually talked to Phil in DMs about this. I said this is your time right now because you look at from when this launched, pre-launch, Xbox been completely shit on. It's been.
Wait, hold on, Tim. Let me get this straight. The head of Xbox communicates with you via Twitter, via direct messages. Yes. I wonder how many Sony fans can direct message Yoshida.
No.
Oh yeah, right. That's right. Because they don't give a fuck about you, idiots. You spend your fucking $400 on that piece of Japanese trash.
Someone kills Sky. Someone cut shit.
I'm gonna sit here. I had watched for months them get hype over treating third-party games like exclusives, and they had a whole lot that they was excited about. Most of it was remasters and hypes, and the most important thing that they was hyped about was a few SKUs, and that was it. Yeah. And that's the gist of what they got coming. Indies, remakes, third-party games that they treat like exclusives, and some dang on SKUs. And that's it in a nutshell. And that's what y'all excited about? That's greatness to y'all? Well, all right then. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to each his own, but me, I'm excited about what Microsoft is putting out. It's new IPs. Not only new IPs, we getting great franchises that we've been loving for years. You know what I'm saying? And all this other little stuff that we got coming this year, it's just great. And that's what I'm excited about. That's, as a gamer, that's what I'm more excited about, is what I got coming later on this year. And I'm cool to wait for it because I got enough to play and keep me busy until that time, and that's my little moment. I had to go off on that little spaz for a second, but y'all go.
You're right.
Few skills, man. I'm sitting here like skills, really.
I mean, have any of the Sony fans call them out? All I see is defending. You know what I mean? That's all I see. I never see that. Like we did that podcast a month ago. It was tough. We were fucking going all in on Microsoft. He was like, Zaire was right, and Microsoft lost its way. We're all fucked up. We were pissed. We were all pissed. Yeah. And you brought up a lot of good points, and went through the community. We were like, what the fuck's going on? But I've never seen that. Like, they should be fucking freaking out right now. Instead, they're tweeting me. That's what I don't understand. Tweet fucking Yoshida. Get a game.
Yeah, dude. You know what? Somebody should put Yost's Twitter in a fucking video so that he gets fucking hit with a message every time someone likes the video, because then maybe he'd realize that people would actually want a fucking game for a change and stop talking up games like No Man's Sky and Tearaway, because nobody wanted Tearaway when it was on Vita. Nobody's gonna want that shit when it's on PS4. Like those aren't games.
Listen, you guys are not forgetting what's going on here financially. You know, so no, it's the truth though, bro. Listen, I've taken you back to the interview from Dual Shockers. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know, dude.
The days of them, and this is from Jack Tritton and the Mark said, the days of them turning all these IPs, and they're not basically making a profit is no more. It isn't. I mean, you know, I think it sucks, but what I think that they're spending money on, they shouldn't. You know what I mean? Like, if your money's already tight, why I wouldn't go out and spend it for time DLC that makes no sense to me. You know, you can have something. This just be the second Chris holidays in a row that they didn't have shit.
Third. Look, they launched that thing with Knack and Killzone as the exclusives. That's it. And then the next year, they had Drive Club and Little Big Planet 3. And this year, it's Tearaway and No Man's Sky. Think about that. And this is what Microsoft launched with. Rise, Dead Rising 3, Forza 5, let's see, Killer Instinct. I mean, they launched with big-time games. Last year, they had Sunset Overdrive, Forza Horizon 2, Halo Master Chief Collection. This year, it's going to be Tomb Raider, Forza
Killer Instinct Season 2.
And we get Killer Instinct Season 3, which, to me, I mean, I got Mortal Kombat, but Killer Instinct is really coming up in the ranks.
It is the best, my favorite fighting franchise. It kind of reinvigorated my love for the
Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
I mean, their last 4 characters are fucking off the hook.
Yeah.
You know what? Iron Galaxy has taken that game and really turned it around, because originally it was kind of like the menu system was okay, but now it's more like almost like an arcade looking thing, and it looks better than it's ever looked. It's got really good.
I don't even know the resolution of the game, but goddamn, it's pretty.
And we're not even talking about seasons. We're naming games. We're omitting games, and they got nothing. I mean,
we got Scalebound. We don't know about Crackdown yet.
New IP definitely coming. What it's going to be, we don't know.
We got at least 4 new exclusives coming this year that we don't even know about.
Battle modes,
and what I was saying was, if you're looking at remakes, you want to talk about remakes and remasters. We have the possibility of getting Gears and maybe the Alan Wake remake. You know, I mean, like
yes,
you're talking about remakes. We're getting the best of the best when it comes to remakes too. Like on top of all the new shit. I mean, it's just it's packed. It's a loaded arsenal.
Fable Legends too. We don't even talk about, you know.
Yeah, Fable Legends, free to play.
Somebody tagged me in a Fable Legends thing yesterday, right? They're like, look how beautiful this game is, with a screenshot. Somebody from Lionhead tweeted in, hey, yeah, we appreciate that, but take it down because you signed an NDA. Like, people don't realize
they don't want you to talk
allowed to share or talk about that game. If you're in these betas, like, you're not supposed to talk about this stuff. The first rule of beta test is you don't talk about the beta test.
That's like the media running with the Microsoft can brick your console instead of telling the whole story.
Hey, how many? And not only did the media run with that, and when the media, first of all, has direct links and direct contacts to Microsoft PR, right? All they have to do is message them, right? They didn't do that, so instead they just run with this bullshit. Oh, Microsoft can remotely brick your Xbox One console if you break the rules, and then they didn't. How many YouTubers ran with that shit? And here's the funny thing to me, right? I've gotten a lot of shit. Next Gen's got a lot of shit. Oh, you guys lie. You know, when we've done a story that was wrong or something, and we have a link for that, right? And we apologize for it, right? These other YouTubers and these sites all ran with this story, and will never apologize. Okay, they don't come out.
They'll block you.
They don't come out like look. Say who was it? Say Polygon comes out with this. Oh, they're bricking your console, right? They're not going to come out with a new story saying, hey, we were wrong about that. You know what they're going to do? They're going to, quote-unquote, update the old story. Well, nobody gives a shit at that point in time. You know what I mean? That's like the same thing as putting a retraction on page 17 a week later.
It's true.
You know what I mean? Like, you already get the negative shit out where people think it bricked your console. I had people on my comment section, are you going to talk about this fat ass, how they brick your console? And I'm like...
But you know what, though? But that's any tech company. Whether you got an iPad or a Samsung Galaxy, they all possess the technology to
Of course.
your device, unusable. That's nothing new. I don't know what the fuck. Like, what's
Yeah,
the
I mean,
big
the
deal?
minute when that iPhone 4, when that first design change, remember when that guy, one of the employees lost it in a bar, and the pictures got stolen by Gizmodo, and that whole thing went down about 4 years ago. They bricked that phone immediately. Like the phone was completely dead the minute the guy reported it lost to Apple. They deadened everything inside of it. The only thing that Gizmodo could do was just take pictures of the outside of it, and then they returned it to Apple anyways. But I mean, my point is that what Zair's saying is right. All these big companies, they can shut anything down. Sony, any of these guys, they can all shut anything down if they want to. That's not what Microsoft did or intended to do.
Yeah.
So,
How about running a fucking article that Microsoft didn't actually go after these guys and fucking try to sue them? Because Microsoft could have done that and could have ruined these two game players' lives. Instead, they got off easy. If you really think about it, they got their console knocked offline and their Xbox Live account banned or whatever. They could be getting sued right now. But you know what? Microsoft probably is like, you know what? We don't want to ruin their lives, but nobody's talking about that. It's just a sensationalism, headlines. Which what those two guys did was fucked up. That's an NDA. You don't break NDAs.
Yeah. 15 seconds of fame and ruining people's surprises. If that turns out to be true.
That's true.
Yeah. No, I mean it could be. It might not. Who knows?
They upload that motherfucker to what they call it, Upload Studios. That
well, I heard different things. I heard somebody used a 4K PC version of it that took some screenshots.
No. That shit came from Xbox.
There's too many hints. Yeah, there's just it's coming.
It could. I don't know, man. I'm still gonna be surprised if it happens.
Yeah.
Well, if it looks like that, it'll be nice.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy though? Just comparing that right there, that footage compared to the version for the PC 10 years ago, it looks much better.
Yeah.
That game was good. Like I was not. I did a video saying that shit looks better than anything that's on the PlayStation 4. I know I may be a little biased, a little fanboy, but god damn, I can't wait. I'm excited.
People were taking like screenshots, and I'm like, that looks like a fucking bull shot. I'm like, that's off of fucking YouTube. I'm like, that looks like a bull shot. I'm like, how the fuck is this happening?
Imagine that's still looking first. If you realize Upload Studios, whatever, it compresses it, to 720p and whatever fuck else. It looks amazing.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, not to be a detective or anything, but the reason I think it's legitly an Xbox One footage is because Microsoft did take the action to punish those two people. If it was just PC footage, Microsoft would have been like, okay, so you're playing the game we already know that's out there? Who cares?
Yeah.
And they didn't release a statement or anything. They don't want.
I mean, it's coming. I mean, it's not saying it's the world best kept secret, but I mean, it's a no-brainer. But like I said, this year alone, we never had a Gears. We never had a Fable. A Halo. In the same year,
it's crazy.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's getting a Gears, a
and
Fable,
Killer Instinct,
and Forza and Killer Instinct. That's crazy.
And Halo. I mean, and Tomb Raider.
I mean, if they get the NFL license, I mean, I think it's too good to be true for that.
So I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I got to retract. Something happened since we last were all talking football. My boy Odell Beckham Jr. He is the cover of Madden. So I might have to just score that for just trying to respect my man real quick. So.
Nah, you gotta get that. You gotta get that Madden. You gotta get that Montana, baby.
I'll get Montana too, but I can't not get.
Unless I mean my hype level will be lower if it's not an NFL game. You know what I mean? Like
I know.
That's gonna be like.
They gotta get the license. I mean, somebody's got to turn around.
Well, here's the thing.
Listen, you gotta get it.
This is the point that I would make with that, right? The only way that it would be exclusive, because the only reason it would need to be exclusive is if you got the license. But the thing that's confusing me a bit is they're advertising the Xbox One version of Madden 16. So I mean that's a little bit odd to me that they would be, unless they, unless they don't do, like. And
they
I was
always
thinking
had
about
marketing deals with them, though.
Yeah, and I was thinking, well, it's not really that weird because they marketed Battlefield 4 and Call of Duty Ghost at the launch. You know what I mean? They had both, and exclusive content, time content for both. So I think that it is plausible. I just there's obviously some kind of Joe Montana game. You know what I mean? I'm interested. The man was at Redmond.
Yeah.
He was there for a fucking reason. So I just think I want to know what it is.
Well, if they have everything and it doesn't have, the only way I'll be excited is if they I think it's going to have a real fantasy type feel about it. Build your player. It's like a type of thing where you build your player.
With basketball, they said why don't we get the basketball? The basketball has a get you drafted from high school and all that stuff.
Right. They might have that, and then maybe they work if they establish the IP, and then they want to work and get the NFL license. I could deal with that. But yeah,
but listen to this though. Well, people like, I know you have a lot of Madden fanatics, but NBA 2K basketball is just, if not more popular than John Madden football is right now. It outsells it. You know what I mean? Like, it's, 2K is like a icon type game to get the celebrities out, and like 2K is the shit.
They're great. They're great. I mean, Madden is just basically Madden this year is going to be a one-handed catch. That's going to be Madden 16 to 15.
Yeah. That Madden looked exactly like the last Madden. To be honest.
You know why?
One-handed catches. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. They king of the one-handed dive across the in the end zone. I'd be like, oh, I'm tired of seeing.
You know what though? You know what? Check it out. You know why though? Madden's like that because they don't have an incentive to make a better football game.
They don't have
to lobby for our dollars. They don't. They can put out the same shit year. Like, come on, man. This is crazy. ESPN 2K5 football came out in 2004, 2005, and that game did things that Madden does. Had the halftime show. You would show you your highlights and this, that. You had your crib. You had your music. Shit that you can't even do on Madden now. That game was way ahead of its time, man. Like, Madden has been stagnant for the last 10 years, man. It's sad, man. I don't even buy this shit anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, I kind of like 14, or what they call it Madden 25 or whatever, but that one was dog shit. But 15 I actually kind of liked. I thought that it did look upgraded.
Yeah, but come on, man. 8 gigs of RAM.
I'm going to tell you, with EA, what I'm sick of is the recycling of features. You know what I'm saying? They wait so long and they just recycle the features.
They take it away, they put it back into.
They take it away. They add something new, and then they go back to the feature. And now, if they would have kept everything that they had added, Madden would be off the chain right now. You know what I'm saying? But they just didn't. They keep taking away things that you should just leave in the game. I think, man, and it's just.
Hey, shout out to the 150 watching right now.
Yeah, nice.
I'm done with. I'm
shout
done
out
with
to
Madden.
guys. Shout out.
Yeah, you guys always come out and support us, man. That's always
what is
cool.
the record for most viewers at one time?
I think we had like 200.
I think last week was up again at 200. Was it last week?
Yeah, it might have been last week or the week before.
The highest one was when we was watching E3.
Yeah,
I don't remember. As of recently, I don't know, but yeah, maybe.
The only thing I remember about those is everybody being disappointed but me, and then me getting Mooch in before he was even part of it.
One thing I remember about the E3 was is Crap and Warrior fighting behind the scenes. Crap, you don't know, Crap. You gotta wait to see, Crap. Crap, you gotta wait and see.
Yeah, don't wait and see, man. Anybody?
Crap, motherfucker, did you wait and see? Like, he's fighting crazy. Somebody got the dog show.
Huge IPs just don't fall from the sky. I mean, can you remember a year where a huge IP that was completely kept under wraps was announced at E3 for the same year? Can anybody give me one?
Yeah, I got one for you. Little Big Planet 3. Nah, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. Even look at Street Fighter 5, whatever. That's getting a job. It's gonna have a small roster. Unless they DLC everybody to death with the goddamn game. The game's coming out next spring, So I'm not for that to be a true success for the 4. I'm not happy with that. They already said it's going to have a short roster. The game's coming out in spring of 2016. But I don't know, man. If I was Sony, what about Until Dead? Did they push that back also?
Until Dawn. That's rumored to be going. Into next year, but Tim, I don't know. Did you hear anything on that? I thought you had said Until Dawn was going to get pushed back.
No, somebody told me that, but it was actually it was a mistake. The Ratchet and Clank was.
Oh, so listen. All jokes aside,
what is that? Isn't that a fucking movie game? What is that? I don't even.
It's literally like that Sega not Dream.
Like Heavy Rain, like kind of game.
Yeah, but worse.
Yeah, but all jokes aside, for what we know right now, retail, I'm not talking about inside the Sony store, retail, what do we have coming out for the PlayStation 4?
Godzilla. Godzilla.
God
Godzilla.
of War. One game.
God of War remaster.
Okay. What else we got? Oh, heavily rumored the Uncharted trilogy.
This
Persona. Is Persona gonna be?
Well,
that's
Persona is gonna be released first in Japan, and then it's gonna get a Western release.
Okay.
So it could miss this year, possibly.
It's a miss this year. I don't
Okay.
think they're gonna. Did they take the region lock off? They probably still could get it.
Yeah, it's region free, so I'm quite sure you can go to Play Asia if you want it and have it sent over this way. So
It just won't have the
English subtitles.
Yeah.
All right, so let's give them Persona 5. So we got Persona 5. We got Persona 5.
Until
We
Dawn.
got Until Dawn.
Tomorrow's Children, which is an indie, but that's a.
But I'm talking about retail games.
Right. They had that list, but the list was like all remakes and all like Japan games I've never heard of, to be honest. Disia Gia, whatever the fuck that game is, I don't play it.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
What you said?
It's called DISGEA. I don't know. That's Gia.
The Sega 5?
Dogma,
No, it's called the Sega 5.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, like a Japanese type game. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They don't have shit. I'm sorry, man.
They got dog shit. They got. Let's be honest. But what are their fans actually like really starting to put pressure on them? Because I really don't see it. I see that we'll be talking about it, and they'll be saying "fuck you." You guys are fucking Xbots. But the bottom line is that like if this was us, if this was reversed, right now we would be going fucking off right now. We'd be like, what the fuck's going on? Yeah. That's why I respect Xbox community is that you can say what you want about us, but we demand a certain level of something from Microsoft. We demand that. I will make their lives miserable. I mean, I've seen the podcast.
I've seen it happen too. Yeah.
It's when it's a downtime for Xbox. And fans are pissed. Believe me, those guys they have a hard go of it. But now you look at the other side of the foot, they just get a free pass again. I mean, it's just like get a game. Call you. What's going on? Is there any tweets? You always get a fucking tweet from Phil. Oh, we're working on this. You never see anything from Yoshida. We're working for the fans, or we're gonna. What you get is some PR, tearaway and the whatever the bullshit PR.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's this list this dude posted, right? He's like PS5. Here's these PS4 exclusives. The Order, dude. Just go with the rest of the ponies on that one and have that amnesia because nobody talks about that shit. Like pretend it doesn't happen because that game was the most awful shit I ever played.
But the Order came out already, so okay.
Yeah, he's like The Order, Bloodborne, MLB 15, which all three have already come out. He says Drawn to Death, which is that little black and white game from David Jaffe, the once great creator of God of War. Give me a fucking break, which is an indie game. He says,
crap, asking for retail games. We're not asking for shit that's never.
Yeah, okay, so he's got Drawn to Death, which is going to be a download title. He puts Journey, which is a remake from the PS3 that's a download title. Yeah. He has Let It Die, which is a download title. Tukotin Kuwam, some kind of Japanese bullshit. I don't know. Disgaea 5, some kind of Japanese bullshit. Dragon Quest bullshit. Persona 5 bullshit. Skullgirls. What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Tearaway Unfolded and Until Dawn. If that is not the worst, the fucking worst. If that you couldn't give me that fucking list of games.
It's a place.
You couldn't give me that list.
Hey, hold on. Then he tried to get off all smooth with an insult. Look, hold on, crap. He tried to get off with an insult. Sorry, ex-twats.
Dude, how can you type that with a straight face?
He said, sorry, ex-twats.
How can you type that with a straight face?
Way more than you have. You're delusional.
How can you type that in that game? Jesus, that is the worst lineup I've ever seen.
Oh, man, that's classic.
The rest of their year, they can play on PS3. Those are PS3 games. Come on.
They are.
Game. Well, all those games you can play on PS3. PS3 can handle all those games.
Oh, man.
No,
are we in next gen or not?
Hey, Tim, I got to one-up you. The Vita can
handle turn my mic down next gen.
Hold on. The Vita can handle all those games. Hold on, man. That's a damn shame.
I mean, seriously, can you fucking have any kind of fucking reality with you? Stop being such a fucking douchebag fanboy and actually call out the company to get you some fucking games.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Hey, I would do 3.
Hey, man, I'm done. I can't breathe, man.
Every fucking week. It's gonna be every week. That list that you just showed me, throw that fucking list out, man. That's a bullshit list. Are you
Dude,
fucking kidding me with
that
that?
guy he should feel bad. His list is bad.
Oh
He should
my
feel
God,
bad.
that list is god awful, man. Wow.
Sorry for the screaming, but Jesus.
No,
Christ.
you're
God,
100% right.
awful,
You're
man. That
100%
list
right
is
because
god
look,
I
three of
put
the
my head
people.
in the sand.
3 of the people in this podcast have PS4s, and we want some kind of big game.
I know. I mean,
We do. We want it. I mean, if
Well,
Uncharted
guess
4
me.
come out, I would get it.
Can they be honest? Can they be honest with themselves? All I see is that all our Xbox says we're always fucking put up against the wall, and we always gotta stand up, and we gotta say, we feel about it, and then we're always on point with shit. We're always saying, you know what? They're fucked up. They fucked up Q1, Q2. They fucked up Q1, Q2. We had a big show about it. We all talked about it. All YouTube personalities were saying, it's fucked up. I don't see any of that with Sony fanboys. All I see is fucking bullshit. They never call out their company, and then they have a fucking dick holiday, and they do nothing. They fucking just complain to us while we have Halo fucking 5, Forza 6, all these games. Be real. Just, that's all I'm asking. If you're a Sony fan, go after the people that make games and demand games. 22 million, you could fucking throw that number out all the way. You gave me a fucking list that I could play on Vita. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Well put, Tim Dog. Well put. Tim Dog.
Classic, man.
That was great.
Hold them accountable for some daggone games.
And you know what? You can be the most
This break got deep and everything, man. I'm done.
the most diehard PlayStation dude in the world, but that is a dog shit list of games, man. Listen,
Look. I mean, look. We can sit there and say, and I just did. I'm like, hey, somebody's like, Xbox hasn't had a physical retail game since November 2014. So what? You know what? I do own Scream Ride physically and State of Decay. Those aren't great games or like big AAA games, but they are releases. But it'd be like me trying to lump them in as like these huge releases, you know what I mean? And they're not, they're kind of just AA or whatever, So
and we also kicked their ass this holiday too, because Microsoft had a much better holiday too. So
we
had
had
a dry
absolutely.
spot. But they just can't keep it real. That's
Sony did leftovers this past holiday. It was like their big bundles was GTA 5 remaster and The Last of Us remastered, which I'll tell you what, I need my PS3 Fat launch broke. So I bought a Last of Us PS3 Super Slim, which is the biggest piece of shit. Like, it's just this big plastic piece of shit with no electronics. It's like, has this little spring-operated thing on the top that opens the fucking thing. Like, I'm afraid it's going to break any minute, like, seriously. But anyway, so it was a Last of Us thing. And the box is almost exactly what the PS4 box is that I got with the Last of Us. It's like, I don't want that fucking game. They keep trying to give me that piece of shit. And I hated the game. And now they're, like, releasing the DLC as a game because they don't have games. It's like, damn, man, get new games. And quit getting, like, phony insiders to try and pump you guys up and damage control that you got no games. Because talking about Sony Ben's games or this game or that or The Last Guardian, give me a fucking break. Games that are delayed for 8 or 9 years are never good. That they just aren't. They're not great. So people pinning their hopes on some kind of Last Guardian miracle, and that's exactly what Sony needs is a miracle because they're, as far as I'm concerned, in the U.S., they're going to be done after this E3. It's fucking over. Lock it in. Microsoft is winning North America this year, and Sony is going to be left like it's going to be the biggest comeback. Mark it in, lock it down. I'm guaranteeing it. By the end of this year, Xbox One's going to be #1 in North America, and that's what I care about most. So lock that shit in. PS4 is not going to do anything this holiday or the rest of the year for the most part because they don't have anything. If they can't win April, which is after they release 3 back-to-back AAA games, and they can't win the following month, what fucking chance do they have with that shit lineup that idiot posted going against stuff like Rise of the Tomb Raider, Halo 5 and Forza 6, even if that's all they wanted to come out with, that's going to sell millions compared to what? Tearaway?
And you also look at
Tearaway.
this. Yeah, you look at the system side of the thing. You know they have no games. Look at the system side. We're getting streaming. We're getting DirectX 12. It's going to be patched. We're getting a new user
Windows
interface.
10.
Windows 10. We get all this. Everything is coming our way. They got nothing.
Yeah, but you know what? Microsoft got nailed to the wall for saying that they were underprepared when the launch came. Here's what I'm looking at now. That it's always funny to look back at the timeline, being Monday morning quarterback. But here's the deal: Xbox has their largest franchise title in Halo coming out this year, ready to rock and roll. Plus, they had the Halo Master Chief Collection last year. Sony was supposedly ready to put their best foot forward back in 2013. But their number one flagship, Uncharted, is delayed? Like, you see where I'm going with this? Like, all we keep hearing, and a lot of the stuff we're hearing is either brewed amongst the community itself that when we were frustrated months and months back, or it was the media just, like, feeding us being like, Microsoft not ready. Microsoft should have released in 2014. They never should have put anything out in 2013. They did it because they couldn't keep up with Sony. That's all bullshit now. Because look at what we have. You've got the greatest console on earth, PS4, with that Japanese schoolgirl list of games, anime garbage, and you're talking about we have our flagship games all coming out now, which some could argue, fine, you want to argue that they should have all come out a year ago? Fine, whatever. I'm not going to argue with any of that. But what I'm saying is we're still first. Xbox still has their shit together first. Plus, they're trying to completely give you a new UI, a brand new DX12 ability to all the devs. They're working internally.
Universal apps. Universal
apps. You know what I mean? So you're getting the games. So as an Xbox fan, if you're an Xbox fan, you're listening to this right now, you can have your chest out high. It doesn't matter if you're a couple million short in sales. You've literally got all your games that you wanted coming out. You've got them actually taking all the games that you loved and you held onto your 360 for, coming in remasters in collections that look beautiful and amazing. And then you've got new features and you've got all this new tech coming, and like Tim was just saying, with all the new apps and this and that, basically going to make it a mobile entertainment device. You've got that Miracast, so any PC can be directed right up. So anything you have as far as digital movies can be played on anything you have an Xbox One on. It's endless. It's endless. And what do we end up getting from PS4? What they promised us they wouldn't be. No TV, Powers television show. Games. No fucking games. They just lied. I've been saying this forever. Sony's lying. And you know what I want to do, Z? If it's okay, maybe we can have our boy, shout out to graphic god Jay Williams.
Jay Williams.
Hey, he working on a new logo for me too, man. Yeah, y'all see it, y'all gonna be weak.
I want to see if he'll put a counter. See if he can put a counter every big Bgst, every big gamer small talk of just how many days keep going by when Sony says a game was going to come out and it never does. Like if Last Guardian, we'll put a little Last Guardian tag in the corner of the show, and it'll just be like 485 days. And then the next week it'll be like literally, it's not coming out.
That sounds familiar. Day 185.
Yeah.
Day 27.
You know what? It's very true. This podcast is I'm happy because Xbox fans, like I said, we've been going through a lot of shit, and now the tide seems to be turning, and you can see the landscape. Just want to say, I'm happy for Xbox fans, and like Mooch said, stand up tall, because I remember last month I was down. I was down as an Xbox fan, and then, we had just the sales were looking like they were down. They were down over year in March, but with this win just jump started us, I think, with the MPD, because you know that they're gonna win E3. I mean, Sony guys are gonna say they're gonna win.
Sony guys will even say either Sony won or Nintendo won, because that's what they did last year, right? Like Microsoft nailed it. They did. They clearly nailed it. Sony had the most boring conference I've ever heard. And you had Mr. Peanut and Powers and this and even and we were watching the IGN feed, and we were making fun of Pinstripe Suit and whatever. I mean, it was hilarious.
Strong Joe.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It was everybody.
Yeah, I mean that was the worst E3 ever, and Sony fanboys knew it. So what did Sony fanboys say? They said, "Oh well, no, Nintendo won E3. Sure, how the hell do you win E3 when you don't take the stage and you show only 12 games?" You know what I mean? Like, to me, when you got Microsoft up there showing, I think it was 48 or something like that games, I mean, that's how you do it. And this year they're saying it's going to be, they say it's the best ever lineup Xbox has ever had. And you don't just say that. I mean, Phil is the type of guy, he's always cautious with what he says, right? Always cautious. So for him to go out and say the best lineup Xbox has ever had, that is going to be huge. And if you're a Sony fanboy and you're like all hung up on all kinds of bullshit, that's got to be like, oh shit, because this time for them to start taking notice. And this is what's going to happen, right? There's a rumor of a Xbox One Slim going to be revealed and a cheaper price. Like this is what I'm going to just tell you what I've heard a little bit about. A slimmer Xbox One with a 1 terabyte hard drive for $349. You know what I mean? Like that would be the permanent price. Like right now, supposedly it's just a temporary price cut, but you're talking about a 1 terabyte Xbox One Slim for $349. That would be huge because you can soft relaunch the console in time for Halo 5 and all these big titles. You see what I'm saying? How much of a big win would that be?
I really thought that's what we were going to get, crap. I thought that was one of the big announcements this year.
That's a rumor that I've heard from multiple people. And look, like I said before, I'm not an insider, but sometimes you hear shit.
Yeah.
Just saying, sometimes you hear shit.
Well,
and anybody in this room will tell you that people will be like, that crap gamer's full of shit. And I can guarantee you, next gen, Booch, am I full of shit when I talk about stuff all the time, like secret stuff? No, exactly. Like I'll talk behind the scenes and shit. I know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like I've heard shit. Just like Tim, he talks to people because he messages people. You know what I'm saying? Like, same kind of situation. People message him and they're like, "Hey, crap, this is what I heard." Like people that because look, I'll be honest. People maybe in the industry or whatever, they'll go to you because you could get the word out to the fans a little bit, get them hyped up. It's not a huge like. I'm not saying 100% for sure that if there's no Xbox One Slim, but hey, we've heard that we're going to get a 1 terabyte Xbox with a
a new controller.
Yeah, the controller.
Yeah, I heard that. That's
the controller is only going to be what I heard was it's going to allow for headsets to be plugged in directly without the headset adapter. They aren't actually changing anything around on it. Just you're going to be able to plug in your fucking headset without the adapter.
Which they should do, but
yeah. I mean, what? That was a misstep. Like. The sound quality is second to none on the Xbox One. Like, when you hear that sound quality in the chat, it's great. You know what I mean? And I think that's what they're going for. They're going for the better quality with the thing they went with. But, when you had all these people that had all this stuff from last gen, that was a bit of a misstep as well, and changing the
Wait, so crap,
system.
You're saying with the controller that that's all the advancement?
That's what I heard, yeah. It's just the controller.
Believe me, I am nowhere near an insider in this net, but I've actually heard from a decent source that it's actually a little bit more than that, and it's going to be something we all really want.
What's that?
The controller. The controller is supposed to be quite beefed up. It's going to be. There's more than just you can plug whatever you want in without an adapter. It's from what I'm hearing, possibly the grips are going to be enhanced, a lot more flexibility with movement on how you want to lock in or not your analog sticks. It's going to be some really cool shit coming. I think that that's why the rumor was it was going to be a pro controller. Like I think it's going to be
that's what Steve told me.
Yeah. I think it's much more than that. I got news for you. More than anything else, I can't wait to get that new controller.
Well, here's the thing. Are they? Are they going to plan on releasing this thing as with the new Xbox, do you think? Or is it going to be a situation where this is just a standalone thing that they're going to sell optionally?
If they're smart, they'll bundle it in the new one that you just rumored with the Slim, but I think you're also going to be able to buy it, separately.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because, like, as far as I feel, it's like, man, like, if you already got a couple controllers, it's like, I don't know if I want to go buy...
Well, here's my thing. I got two of the... I got the day one edition we all got. Then I got another black one, regular one. And then I got a Titanfall one. My Titanfall one, when I got it day one, it just didn't work, and I returned it, and it still doesn't work very well. The left analog stick gets...
Damn Microsoft and their shoddy American products. God, American trash.
So, I mean, I'm back to using my two originals, which is fine. But I'm definitely in the market myself. This isn't for everybody, and I wouldn't persuade anybody into it. But I'm definitely in the market for a serious controller. Like I think and I prefer to buy a first party from Microsoft versus like Scuff and all those.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, so I'm waiting. I'm just hoping that Microsoft gives us that. I want some grip. I also want it so that my wish on the controller, I think about this all the time. I'm always boring my wife with these ideas. I can't stand how the controller creaks and cracks when you squeeze it. You know, like I want something solid. I want like one solid molded piece so that it doesn't have that line around it. Like you can do that these days. It's a little more money, but what it does is it just makes the controller like, you guys know what I'm talking about when you're playing like Titanfall. You're playing it, like it creaks and it cranks and
with some controllers. For some reason, some happen, some don't. I don't know.
Right.
Why,
right.
But I know what you're talking about. It annoys the fuck out of me too.
Yeah. So if they can work on that and then get a little bit more of that, like everything else is fine. I love the analog sticks. I love the D.
I think it's the D-pad. The actual D-pad is not that good for fighters. Like PlayStation has the four blocks. I think that's the only issue with fighters.
So is that proprietary to Sony? Like they can't own that forever.
I don't know, because that was the same way on the original PlayStation. Original Xbox, original Nintendo controller. Up, down. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if it's something that they own, but people for years have complained about the Xbox D-pad. It's not that good for fighters. But I like it. Like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, man. So I hope they'll come with some off-the-wall shit.
It's weird. The games that I play, in all honesty, because I remember the D-pad was such a huge ordeal leading up to the release on all the controller debates. And coming from me, I'm wondering, I hear Zaire say it because I don't play a lot of fighting games. I don't ever use the D-pad unless I'm like typing someone a message. Like the D-pad to me, as far as I'm concerned, they can just remove it. I don't use it at all. Do you guys use that for like first-person or third-person games?
Fighters you do.
Just fighters? Is that all? I mean, because when we use it for like Gears or whatever, it's just to hold it to the left. I mean, anything would work just holding it to the left.
Some people use it.
It's too glitchy for me, man. I don't really care for it. I mean, once you if you try to slide your fingers, I don't know, it's like some grooves in there or something. It just don't work well. So you wind up using the analog anyway.
Yeah, it does. Okay. Technically, it doesn't matter to me what they do. If they want to redesign it, all the better for the value. Right. But I think that just offering a lot of people are under the assumption that Sony's going to cut price on the PS4, which I don't think they can afford to do.
No.
I think what you're going to see Sony do is bundle. Okay, because check this out, all right? Look here in the United States.
You're gonna get fucking destroyed if that.
Yeah, the Xbox 360, right? How many price cuts did Sony do with the PS3? It was like 4 in a row, and people kept saying, "Well, Microsoft's gonna match it."
From $5.99
to like $2.99.
$5.49 to $5.49.
They supposedly had 3 in a year.
Yeah, there was, right? And then people were like, "Well, Microsoft is going to answer." Why would Microsoft answer? They were, you know what I'm saying? They didn't. That thing is still $2.99. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, you gotta.
It's crazy.
It is, and it was actually up year over year to 360. I mean, seriously, and so
that console just won't die.
It won't, and so.
It's so crazy.
Well, at least Ubisoft has stopped supporting the last gen stuff, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't know, I'm a little bit disappointed because I like the look of the new Assassin's Creed, and it looks like Sony's got the marketing deal, so I can't buy that. Oh wait, no, I can still buy it because it's just a fucking marketing deal. Yeah. So yeah, brilliant job, Sony. Brilliant job with that. Hey, and Battlefront as well. Thanks for advertising that. I'm looking forward to seeing that on E3, so I know what to get.
Yo, but listen, speaking of marketing deal, what the fuck's up with Microsoft and The Witcher? Like, what the hell?
Oh man, they're marketing the hell out of that. Did you see that? It's really picked up on.
I'm saying though, but every fucking article on N4G is the PlayStation 4 version though.
That's because it's N4G.
Yeah, but I think they held it back because they were working on a dynamic resolution, so it was held back specifically.
There's a day one patch. There's a day one patch for the Xbox One version that takes it up to 30 gigs apparently.
Yep.
Wow. But listen, for those of you guys that listen. Dynamic resolution is not the same thing as saying something is upscale, which means that the game is native 1080p, and when a lot of shit is going on at the screen at one time, instead of the frame rate taking a hit, it will lower the resolution slightly. You know what I mean? Then it will go back.
I did a video and I said that should be what Sony does too, because basically what happens is you get locked into this 1080p thing, and people are like so obsessed with this shit, like you don't realize that hey. Look at how Microsoft did that they did that with Advanced Warfare, right? And the frame rate was so much better on the Xbox One version than the PS4 version. Not saying there can't be any frame rate issues on either one. There could be still. I don't know, but to me, give the give the damn machine the option. You know what I mean? Like, look, when you're a PC, well, I don't really want to talk about PC because people about fell asleep on that shit. But like the first thing you do, man, to get the better frames is turn down the resolution. You know what I mean? That's 101 right there. And so to me, that should be kind of the option. Like, look, if they gave console gamers the options to play games at 720p 60 or 1080p 30 or less, I think most people are going to pick 720p 60. You know what I mean? Like I would. Like I don't, you know, to me, I don't really give a shit. You know, I want a smooth frame rate. I'm a frame rate guy.
You won't notice the resolution taking the dip.
You absolutely. How the hell can you notice that? You know what I mean? What the like we fucking it's.
Going,
Yeah, I mean seriously, come on.
Being stuttered all across the screen. Yeah, you know that's a marketing ploy, I guess, quote unquote, by Sony. Yeah, we got the most powerful console, 1080p, 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 instead of having a smooth frame rate. You know what I mean? But like I said before, I own both consoles, and the games looked 99.9% better on my my PlayStation 4. I would buy them on my PlayStation 4. I can't fucking tell the difference. The only thing I can tell the difference is, you know, with games like Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, where the Xbox One version used another thing, dynamic resolution. It was locked at 60 frames, and with the PlayStation 4 version, dropped all the way down to 32 frames. Now that you can notice. That's a bit. You're losing over 30
Yeah, the frames when that shit drops, yeah, that's noticeable. Resolution is like, to me, the most unnoticeable damn thing in the world. But when frames start dropping and you get that fucking slow motion feel, yeah, you definitely know something's up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But like I said, if you guys got a few questions, you can ask us here live.
Yeah, ask us some questions, bitches.
Ask us what you want to have. We got Tim Dog in the house. Tim Dog.
Yeah.
I
lost my shit about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, Tim went on a fucking rampage.
That list, the list, I think the list set me off.
That was like worse than shit.
That was worse than Raiders list, dude. Look, if you're like, when you're writing these lists, right, for us, and I realize because you guys are like, man, this is a lot, man, this is a lot. That'd be like essentially us doing Loco Cycle, Crimson Dragon, Max the Curse of Brotherhood. I mean, think about that for a minute. I mean, seriously. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what that would be like.
Same thing. You know what's funny? They'll say the same thing. Like, Loco Cycle, really?
Yeah, Loco.
Trash.
Exactly.
Like, oh, man. So, just stop it. You know, it's just like everybody come here talking about, y'all Xbox podcast, y'all talk about Sony. But if you go to Sony podcast,
that's all they're doing. Hey, yeah, they want you to keep
Thank you very much.
Hey, they want you to. They want you to keep it gaming when you're like nailing them. Like I did this video, and Tim don't really like the video. It was about the PlayStation.
It was like old crap. It was like old crap games.
Yeah, it was like about how PlayStation fanboys have low expectations and they're really hypocrites, right? And I went in on them, right? And I do that once in a while. And that's when like the Sony fans that are usually like, oh man, blah blah blah, they were like, man, you should just keep it gaming. Why do you want to do this fanboy stuff? I'm like, yeah, you know what? When I'm right about shit, and I basically just totally trashed your whole fucking sect of fanatics, yeah, then you want me to keep it gaming. They do the same shit to Showstopper Next Gen. Keep it gaming, guys. Yeah, keep it gaming. Yeah, keep it gaming.
Y'all about to get this work. That's what y'all.
In your video, you backed up everything that you said with true stuff. I mean, you know, like I said, Xbox been under fire for a long time, and that's why you do what you do, and that's why we were pissed off sometimes because there's been a lot of bullshit thrown our way. From everything, from DRM to Star to this, like making Sony like these, like they weren't, like they cared. Bottom line, Sony was going to do DRM too. The bottom line is that they were smart enough to not announce it at E3. Yeah. They had a patent for it. They were ready to go. And then you had the resolution, and nobody wanted to hear about dev kits or how all this stuff. And we've just been killed. We've been killed, and we've bullshitted with NeoGAF. So, and there is a bias out there. So when that video really kind of summed it up, and it was good. It gave it to people. It was truthful. I mean, like I told you, I said that's you shouldn't really shy away from doing stuff like that because you don't want to. That's you could talk all you want if you back your shit up. You could be as passionate as you want about it. You could talk shit as much as you want because with that video, you basically set it straight.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
see that's why people get pissed off is that like me, next gen, all of us have this media in which people want to hear our opinion on things, and I'm outspoken. Hey, big deal, you know. Like not everybody's going to agree with me. People are going to think. I'm sure people are going to want what I said about Japanese trash the wrong way about turning it into racism when basically what I was talking about was it's a Japanese hunk of plastic. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? And people will turn that to whatever end suits them best. And that's because I have a medium to talk to people and get my opinion out, and people think that someone that has an opinion as strong as mine shouldn't be said. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what it comes down to. They're pissed off that I have an opinion and I'm able to speak it. So, yeah. But hey, here's a good question from Insane XXL. Do you think Americans should treat the PlayStation like Japanese treat the Xbox?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I do.
Yes.
I absolutely think that.
I've been pushing that since day one. The fact that you tell me, you look at the sales numbers and tell me that an entire country in Japan, and you're telling me that there's only like 150 sold in a month, that is definitely information.
By American soldiers.
Right. It's from the exactly. It's government, Japanese government, basically instituting all the way down into people's homes not to buy anything but their own brand. You don't buy anything outside. You know, everything's got to be domestic, this and that. And in this country, it's quote in the air, cool to bash this country and not stand up for our products and stuff like that.
Hey,
And
if you're pro-America, you're a racist.
Yeah, I'm pro-American, so I'm the bad guy. Meanwhile, the guy yelling at me lives like 2 doors down. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Hey, and I'll say this, okay? Like, there's this really good YouTube channel called Did You Know Gaming, and they actually did a recent one about the original Xbox. And the Freeze guy, who recently was also in the news for saying that he thinks that the PS4 will win by a nose, which people ran with that story, even though win by a nose means barely fucking winning, which I think Microsoft and anybody here would take that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially given the odds at the beginning of the generation. But in that, he says when they were originally going to release the original Xbox in Japan, they were all like, "Well, you can't have it black because that's bad luck color," and it was all this stuff, right? And he's like, "Well, isn't the PlayStation 2 black?" He's like, "What's allowed for them to do over there isn't allowed for us to do over there," and we didn't really exactly like that. You know what I'm saying? In fact, the original code name for Xbox was Midway. And the little Iggy into that was because Midway was a battle that the Americans won handedly against the Japanese in World War II. So yeah, Battle of Midway. I mean that's kind of a funny, in my opinion, code name for the fucking Xbox. But yeah, that is pretty badass in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
All right. We got one from King Hydra TV. Yo, big gamer small talk. What genre do you think will Microsoft new IP be, and which first-party studios besides Rare do you think will be making a new IP? Because remember, Microsoft opened those 6 new first-party studios last year.
Well, they're gonna have some kind of I know you guys probably won't care. Strategy game, maybe.
RTS.
Yeah, they're gonna have some kind of real-time strategy game. They're gonna have
Age of Empires, they're saying.
Yeah, Eden Falls. They could be Halo Wars 2 as well because they actually have 2 companies
I hope
working
it's
on
Halo
strategy.
Wars 2.
Yeah, Halo Wars 2 would be the better bet. Or maybe I'm hearing, there's rumors of a Gears strategy game. I don't know, but
that'd be sick.
yeah, like that's. I'm just saying I've heard that because
That's a great idea.
Black Tusk is working on other Gears projects, projects with
Shanghai Heights of they bring. I would love to see a one-player type game. That's one thing Microsoft doesn't have in their portfolio. They have the shooters and stuff. It's a great one-person, story-driven game like I won't even say like God of War, but something like along the lines of Watch Dogs or Grand Theft Auto or something along the lines of one-player driven story game. I would like to see him, hope to see him work on. But they did open up 6 new studios, and I think this year we're going to see what they have been working on. So,
there's been rumors that those studios are for HoloLens, but we don't know.
Well, technically, some of the stuff like okay, Phil Harrison left Microsoft, right? But he left to start up a company with Microsoft technology for like HoloLens and stuff. So, I mean, it looks like he's going to still be working with Microsoft stuff, but like his own kind of business or whatever. Well, there's a question here that's for Tim Dog, and I'll get to that in a minute. But Jamie Moran, what up, dude? He says, do you guys think the media doesn't talk about Hunt the Truth to keep away from Halo hype?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
you know what? Like I have to say that I think that the media like totally and the people that and I come up with the answer as to why the media is biased. Sony's not paying them. The Sony fans are paying them, and here's how they're paying them: because they're the majority and they click the most, and that pays them. Hence, they keep the fucking
we have
clickbait.
clickers.
Yes, and that's what it comes down to. I mean, look, if you guys want a simple explanation as to why the Halo fans pander, or I mean, why the Sony fans get pandered to by these sites, that's why, because they're the majority. They're the little idiots that'll click on any resolution story. They're the idiots that click on me and Next Gen's channel when we talk Xbox. Why do they do it? I don't know, but they do it.
Crap, I'm sleeping with their grandmother. I'm protecting.
That is a that's nasty, man.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Somebody
We got another good one from Live Wire Animation. What do you think will happen if Crackdown, Scalebound, and Quantum Break become this gen's hung games like Halo and Gears did, or if Banjo comes out and caters to the younger gamers like Mario or Sonic and become a huge again? Do you think they will try and find the game for the younger audience and play Connect? I'm 34. I'm not jumping all around, but the kids will.
I don't know. I think those aren't.
Crackdown and Scalebound, and Quantum Break become huge, like I guess.
Well,
like
I could see them being huge, but look, for something to be huge like Halo or Gears, it needs a really good multiplayer component. Like here, that's where Sunset Overdrive kind of messed up a bit. Like I could see if you do a sequel, you need a team deathmatch type deal. You know what I mean? Like you could do all this cool shit with these cool weapons.
It's true.
But why? Where's the team deathmatch? It was the same thing with Bulletstorm. I don't know if you guys remember that. Fun game, but they did no fucking competitive multiplayer. It was just co-op multiplayer,
You gotta
right?
get
And
something to get people to keep playing.
yeah, look at Gears, look at Halo. People loved the multiplayer so much of Halo 1 that they did LAN parties. Like you had people bring in 16 Xboxes to set up these huge LAN parties, you know what I mean? Because that's how good the multiplayer was. You need that because that's what Xbox Live is built off of. Look, yesterday I was playing Titanfall with Mooch and some of my clan members, gaming clan, and
Damn, crap. Hey, you know what? That's gonna be used in a soundbite, something Chris though, bro. I'm gonna be weak when I see that video.
Holy shit!
But no, hey, Mooch.
They gonna take that little snippet, like I told you he was racist. Hey, it's clan members.
Mooch.
Holy
How many
shit!
people? What was going on in the
Just
party?
body yourself, man.
Mooch, what was going on yesterday? I mean, you hear people Xbox record that. I mean, wasn't that like you just heard that all the time? Like people were like.
In all honesty, I crap invited me. I didn't know any of the guys in the group, and they were like, "Hey, I hope you don't mind." After a little while, I was just enjoying listening. They're all bullshitting, going back and forth, and they're like, "Oh, they're like, hey, sorry, by the way, you're new. We don't talk." I said, "They don't understand. The reason I initially got into Xbox Live, you go back many, many years ago, was because originally when I got on Xbox Live, I got all my personal friends involved with it now." But like originally, I didn't have anybody on there, so I was actually just jamming out and having a good time with random people online. And that's what's amazing about the Xbox community is that it has that ability. And that's what I told Crap yesterday. I said, guys, I don't even know you guys, but I'm having fun just literally. And like you said, it was Xbox record that Xbox. Every 5 seconds you hear one of the 6 of us like yelling it out because of the cool shit we were doing in Titanfall. Like it's a growing thing. It's something where you log on. I didn't know who these people were except for Crap, and you have a blast, man. You have a really good time, and that's something. Let me tell you something. When my buddy who was like, "Oh, you're missing out on PlayStation," and I bought a PS3. What was it? 2011. I think I got a PS3. I went online. And I even met up with a couple of buddies that were on there. Dude, it was crickets. Nothing. No noise. Nobody's having a good time. Everybody's just like, nah. Like nothing.
Nobody had a headset on the PS3. That was the problem.
That's true, too. A couple of people didn't have a headset. And in all honesty, it was just a dead, and like I said, it was very much what, shout out to Blaze and Phoenix, who's a big fan of the show. He said it in his show a couple weeks ago, or a week ago. He said basically when I turn on PlayStation or Sony, I feel like I'm just not a part of anything. So, like, I don't mean that necessarily like just like you have to be a part of a community and have a lot of friends. You could have no friends at all on Xbox Live, but you've got things popping up all the time. This community, the way that they've integrated the system, very much like Twitter or Facebook, is to keep you enthralled with the system and the ecosystem. You know what I mean? The whole being. And when you turn on the PS3 or PS4, I just feel like you don't get that. And I know Z last week you were saying to me, oh, you know, Mooch, that's the way you feel. Like, you know, honestly, I think that, like,
I don't think that was Next Gen saying that.
No. Next Gen,
I was saying that.
Yeah, oh, was it you, Sean? Okay, so like you were saying, like that
You're
maybe.
confusing the black people in the
No. Z was doing he was making the piece. What he was saying was just like, you know, he was making a good point. He was saying maybe that's just the way that I interpreted it. But like, it's not the idea of just myself and my eyes. What I was really getting into was just the fact of the way that Sony. Okay, it's not a me thing or a you thing. It's the way Sony built the UI. They just didn't build it to be that social network. And it's as clear as day. You turn it on, it's just not in front of you. You turn on your Xbox, and there's just, like, it's not just the social, like the friends and ability to play a game. You've got the what's on. I'm seeing all the NHL games, the NBA playoffs. I'm like, oh, shit, I didn't even know that game was on right now. I swear to God. Like, I was like, oh, shit, I click on. Like, I'm just saying, it's not a me or Z or show or anybody else's opinion. It's literally just the way that Microsoft decided to go forward with their UI and the way that Sony decided to go forward with theirs. And whenever I log on, this is a me thing, when I log on to PS3, which is never, but when I do, it's pretty much the most empty, nothing feeling. And like I said, I've got 50, 60 people on that list, but there's nothing going on, and there's nothing that reaches out to me to say, oh, maybe I should play a game with that person. You know, whereas yesterday, Crap saw me click on my Xbox One, bang, I got like 3, 4 invites from people that I knew, like Titanfall or this and that. And I'm like, oh, shit, that's cool. You know what I mean? The same people you see on PSN, and you just don't get that. You know, they don't show the love. I don't know how to put it.
Yeah. What the way I can explain it is, last generation, I had an Xbox 360 and PS3. My buddy who you played with yesterday, I probably gamed with him the longest, Grave. He was on PS3 at first. He's a big Metal Gear guy. I talked him into getting rid of his PS3 to get an Xbox. I was like, dude, you don't understand. The competition, there's more people. You know, there's party chat. It's gonna, you know, you'll enjoy it much more. It was such a better experience, man. He never missed it or went back. He was just like, hell yeah, man, Xbox. You know, I mean, like, that's what, you know, because you have fun with it. You could trash talk. I mean, that was like, you know, what was really funny was back on the older Call of Duties, when you were in a lobby and when you weren't in a party chat, like, it would do the loading screen and you could hear each other talk. Well, I'd always talk like him. I'd be like, hey, Holmes, this is Grave. I'm going to get 100 kills on you bitch asses. And then so they'd be headhunting him the whole game, and they'd be like, hey, Grave, man, I thought you were going to get those 100 kills. And it was just like we'd fuck with each other. It's a good time. And PS3 and PS4 just doesn't have that. There's just no fun to be had there, not in these parts anyway, man. Fuck that shitty ass. You know what? I'm gonna sell mine because that thing is just collecting dust. You know.
Do it, yo. Make a video of it.
I got a question here. Maybe you guys may have heard it. I didn't hear. This guy said we can do 3 more. We can close up. Antonio didn't.
I thought you were gonna say something else, but go ahead.
No, Antonio Holmes. No. Yeah. On the Xbox One is between 30 to 40 frames on the Xbox One.
I heard that today. I heard that it was over 30 frames per second, and if this is true, it's a comment really. He said that The Witcher 3 is 30 to 40 frames per second in the analysis, you know, which is definitely better than the PS4 version. And you could, if that turns out to be true, I don't know that it is, but if it turns out to be true, you could thank that dynamic scaling, and I think I will take dynamic scaling and a much better frame rate any day of the week. And that sexy ass controller.
We can do 2 more. We see any more. You see, how long do you got?
Man, I see a ton of damn. Oh, here's one. Jamie Moran again says, do you think that with Kojima that jizzes over PlayStation gone, Konami will put the effort into the Xbox One port? Hell no, because Konami wants out of the console games. They're getting that Metal Gear game out as quick as possible, and then they're going all mobile and shit.
Yep.
They're done. Konami is done, and I say don't let the door hit you on the way out because they treated Americans like ass anyway, and I've been very vocal about that. You know what I mean? They didn't care about putting games out on the Xbox. You know, they just didn't care. You know, and you know that's sad that you know we'll get called out for mentioning that as being whatever. I mean, people throw around the fucking word racist without knowing it, but the truth is you got a Japanese company that really doesn't care about putting out a quality game on.
Well, it's all just facts. It's not really an opinion thing. They didn't give us PT. They put out that soccer game, whatever that was, PES. I think that was Konami too. That was at 720p on the Xbox One. They've neglected all sorts of contracts and all kinds of DLC things and other games that they've had. It's been an absolute downward cycle for Xbox or Microsoft and Konami. So I'm with you kind of with that crap. But as far as Konami, I mean, I grew up with a lot of their great games.
Yeah, they were good 20 years ago.
You know, my hat goes off to them, and thanks for the childhood memories. But other than that,
yeah, they did some good Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games back in the day.
well, they did Contra and some crazy shit. You know, I mean, it was.
But honestly, yeah, they want to go mobile, and you know why they're going mobile? Because the Japanese market's mobile, and so they're going to go with the Japanese one. Fuck what the American or the or anybody else wants.
They don't care what we want.
Yeah, they don't. So yeah.
That's just a bonus.
Support the Xbox, which is the best box. Woo-hoo.
It is, man. Xbox is the best box. Deal with it, bitches.
One last question there. We're going to end it up. You see one last one in there?
Hold on, yeah. I saw a bunch, man. Hold on real quick. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Let's talk about how these biased YouTube channels are starting to come over to the Xbox now that things are looking up. I didn't even realize that. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Probably true.
That's nothing new.
Hey, yeah, like we don't really got to talk about other people on this podcast. Other people do, talk about us because we're the most relevant. But honestly, a lot of the channels and stuff that we had no problems with coexisting with other Xbox channels, even if they were fake as shit. But once we let it out that these other Xbox channels weren't really Xbox channels, then you see how quickly they die off. Now, I'm not naming names, but you can check them out, man. When you got over 3,000 subscribers and in some cases 10, 11, 12,000 subscribers, and you say shit like there's a dead zone on the Xbox controller or this is why you should switch to PC and all this kind of bullshit, and you wonder why you only get 1,000 views per video when you got 12,000 subscribers, then there you go. You know what I mean? Maybe stick to what, dance with the fat ass that you took to the dance. Quit trying to flip-flop around. People can spot that shit, so yeah.
Bang, bang,
yeah, I'm
bitches.
opinionated as fuck tonight, aren't I? I'm like, man, I'm shot out of a cannon today. Shit.
You'll probably see that a lot too during the holiday. You'll see a lot of these fucking guys. I don't even.
Oh yeah, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh man, the Xbox is really good. I don't know why I didn't give it a chance."
Yeah,
absolutely. Listen, let me tell you guys before we haul ass. Let's see the guys you see that are coming over. Don't fuck with them. They're not real. You fuck with the people that've been here from the start, whose message has not changed or wavered. You know what I mean? All mother jokers, these jokers are lames, man.
Yeah, you can criticize here and there, but when that's what you do is just to kind of appease the other side, that's wrong. We never do it to PlayStation fanboys. We do it because because it's real concerns as Xbox fans, right? Like, I'm not going to abandon Xbox, you know what I'm saying? But if I have a problem, I'm certainly going to speak up about it, and that's something that go to any PlayStation fanboy on YouTube and see if they ever come out against anything Sony does, ever. They never do. You got some people damage controlling. Did Microsoft really win the April MPD and shit? I mean, come on, man. Get out of here.
It's crazy as hell. But it's been real big. Catch you guys. Maybe later on the week on Scrap channels. If not, we'll see you guys Sunday, whatever the case may be. Thank you guys for coming on. We got 192 people here watching this live with me.
Hell yeah, man. Rack them up, man. Thanks for watching.
Shout out to Jay Williams, too. Hey,
yeah,
Jay,
dude.
I just saw you ask a question about hockey. I don't know shit about hockey, Jay, at all, man. But I got it free on EA Access, and I'm gonna try it out, though. But shout out to Jay Williams. We catch you guys next week, man. Bang bang.
Yep.
Peace.
Later. Bye.